This is LivingNG, one of the most well-known and respected speedrunners in the Minecraft community and part of the group that helped expose Dream for faking his run. Little did the community know, however, that he was merely using this as a distraction to hide from the fact that he had been cheating the entire time. As it turns out, the Minecraft rabbit hole runs deep and there's a lot more than meets the eye. LivingNG was one of the most well-known and respected runners in the community, and he was part of the group that helped expose Dream for faking his runs initially, but later on found himself on the other end of the situation. Similar to Dream, LivingNG had a background in coding, something that made it even easier for him to fly under the radar. One of his mods would become a little too suspicious, however, when he uploaded a video where he got a world record pace set seed run with an instant perch faster than what any runner had ever seen. This set the community into a frenzy of trying to figure out how to make the dragon perch as fast as LivingNG had, until eventually players realized that it was literally not possible for the dragon to perch as fast as it had for him. What the community didn't know at the time was that LivingNG had used a mod to make the dragon have a little less accuracy when flying from different points in its cycle before perching. This essentially allowed the dragon to turn around a little bit faster, making his perch faster than what any player could ever achieve. Many also began to notice that LivingNG seemed a little too lucky when it came to pulling obsidian out of chests. And by a little too lucky, I mean the rates he was pulling had 1 in 27 billion odd. Despite this, the only real way to prove that they were actually illegitimate was to prove that the chests he was getting them out of couldn't even spawn in the first place. And how exactly do you prove that? By checking every possible chest combination in the entire game. And what do you know, out of over 200 trillion possible combinations, LivingNG's was none of them. This undeniable evidence caused many to start looking at the other times when LivingNG had gotten extremely lucky in a run, but there was no real way to prove whether this luck was a result of cheating. At least that was until LivingNG made this video. After he had been fully exposed, LivingNG decided to make a video on his YouTube channel in which he answered questions and explained why he had decided to cheat in the first place. He explained that this cheating allowed him to have a lot of fun by mixing his two interests of gaming and coding. He also went on to explain a lot of the ways in which he got away with cheating, some of which were as obscure as spawning in a dolphin at the perfect position for a set seed run. But after playing such an important role in exposing Dream for pretty much doing the same thing, many had been asking whether or not he had helped Dream cheat in his run. But as he says,
there were rumors that said I helped Dream with his cheating, but that's not true.
Although he also mentions that exposing Dream was helpful because it drew the distraction away from him.
And I would have exposed Dream even if I wasn't a cheater. It surely helped to distract from me so that no one would suspect me of cheating.
But if Dream didn't receive any help from LivingNG, then what exactly happened? Out of all the countless times the speedrunner has been exposed, Dream's story is by far the most famous. At the time he was exposed, Dream was around the peak of his popularity due to his manhunt series as well as his high-level speedrunning ability. Similar to what we've seen with other speedrunners in the past like LivingNG, Dream's luck seemed a little too good to be true. According to a YouTuber and speedrunning moderator named GeoSquare, Dream's pearl drop trade rate had a likelihood of about 1 in 82 billion. And if those odds didn't stand out enough, it was calculated that his blaze rod drop rate had a 1 in 113 billion chance of occurring, once again slightly on the high end. Famously, Dream's odds of having all of this happen were found to be approximately 1 in 7.5 trillion. Now, despite the incomprehensible odds stacked against him, Dream would go on to defend himself by posting a response video in which he hired a Harvard graduate with a PhD who calculated that his odds of cheating were far lower than the moderation team had suggested, among other various factors of proof that worked in his favor. While Dream's response video worked to bring up some good points about the calculations, many were still not convinced. And then on May 30th, 2021, Dream finally admitted that the runs had been cheated through the use of mod packs that increase his odds, something that he would use when recording the Manhunt series. Dream, however, denied being aware that the mods were active during his speedrunning sessions, stating that it was an accident and they had been left in his mods folder. Eventually, Dream went on to delete the response video that he had made about the situation. Many also believe that Dream deleted the pastebin document that he had made, but according to him, it was actually the site's staff that removed it. Regardless of his reasons for deleting his responses, many were still very upset with Dream, as throughout the entire document he had only apologized once, and now that had vanished as well. Now, while the motivation behind almost all fake speedruns is to sneakily obtain a world record or high-ranking leaderboard position, this is not always the case, and for a well-known runner named Flowbee, it couldn't be more different, but I'll explain that in a minute. Flowbee wasn't an especially known name in the speedrunning community at first, but after achieving a 12:59 RSG run, followed by becoming the second person ever to have 2 sub-12s, he was known by runners at the highest level. After Flowbee started to receive attention from top runners in the community, it didn't take long for them to become suspicious of his gameplay, although at this time, time, there was no real evidence to say he was a cheater. This would all change, however, when Flowbee managed to break the world record in one of the most important speedrunning categories, the world record blind travel. Flowbee uploaded a video on his channel where he achieved both the world record blind of around 5.5 minutes and the second fastest ever portal room enter at 8 minutes and 23 seconds. Despite this, upon him entering the portal room, he finds he doesn't have enough eyes to fill up the portal and the run is inevitably over. And this is exactly what set Flowbee's run apart from the rest. You see, while faking a run may be quite common, it's far less common to fake a run that you don't even finish. Despite this, it's still the only run by Flowbee that was 100% confirmed to be cheated, and is also the one that got him exiled from the community. After finding himself in deep controversy, the speedrunning moderation team decided that the run was in fact a rerun, and by the time Flowbee got the world record blind travel run, he had most likely already played the seed 4 to 5 times. And with seemingly no way out, Flowbee decided to post an apology as well as explaining the reason behind faking the run, but the reason behind it was not what you'd expect whatsoever. In Flowbee's apology, he explained that the reason he had rerun the seed was because he had found it while in a call with a leaderboard moderator named Crystal. At the time of Flowbee finding the seed, Crystal was AFK in the call, so when he inevitably failed it a few minutes later, he decided to lie about how it happened to Crystal upon her return. You see, wanting to impress Crystal, Flowbee didn't want to admit that he had messed up the run and died, so instead he told Crystal that he simply didn't get enough eyes to make it to the end. Upon hearing about this impressive run, Crystal asked Flowbee to upload the video to his channel, but of course Flowbee knew that this wasn't how the run had played out, which left Flowbee with two options. Either he could admit that he lied about how he had died, or he could fabricate an entire world record simply to impress a girl who was literally on the leaderboard moderation team. And while Flowbee's reasoning was definitely unique, it's not uncommon for people to fake speedruns for reasons other than breaking a world record. Fake speedruns are especially popular on YouTube, where YouTubers will either exaggerate them for the sake of entertainment, or to mock the actual cheaters who take it seriously. But sometimes there's a middle ground between serious and fun, and the story of LemmingNG is no different. You see, while most speedrunners tend to run the Java edition of Minecraft, this is not always the case. Lemming was the speedrunner who managed to not only bypass the entire speedrun.com moderation team, but actually secured the world record on the site's leaderboard for mobile random seed any %. This specific speedrunning category allows for the use of glitches, which are very present in the mobile version of the game. Lemming used this to his advantage, mostly to duplicate items in order to save time instead of gathering them himself. Now, unlike most other runners, Lemming did not cheat his run in any mechanical or probability based way, but what he did was so shockingly obvious that it's hard to fathom how the moderation team didn't pick up on it. When Lemming went in to load a new mobile world, the background of the menu can clearly be seen changing in a single frame, indicating an obvious splice in the run. Of course, this proves that his run was simply fake by doing a jump cut in the editing and loading in a set seed separately. Yet his run was somehow still verified as the world record and did not get called out until around 9 months later. Although at the time it was published, the run had been considered a little suspicious, many found it hard to believe that it could be fake, as Lemming was relatively known in the mobile community, giving him a bit of trust from the community and making him less suspicious. Despite this, when Lemming was questioned, he responded by simply stating that the run was spliced and that he had submitted it as a joke, not expecting it to pass the speedrunning moderation team's verification process. This of course led to his run being rejected and removed from the leaderboard altogether. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing, and also be sure to check out all the other creators whose info this video would not have been possible without. Oh, by the way, that speedrun that's been playing in the background the whole time, it was just Dougal pretending to be me. It's also fake.